for 2 hours and 57 minutes.
Yes guys, what is happening? We are now less than 3 days out from the Abu Dhabi marathon, sub 3 hour marathon attempt. I'm quietly confident. I think if everything goes well on the day, I get the fueling right, and I don't go out too quick, which is usually my issue on races. I think we've got it in the bag, but obviously going to make a vlog over the next few days. It's Wednesday evening now. Carb load starts tomorrow. We're going to be carbing up 700 grams of carbs tomorrow, Thursday, and then 600 to 650 on Friday. And then we've got the race on Saturday morning at 6 o'clock. We're going to be driving through to Abu Dhabi midday Friday. Need to pick up my race pack. Going to go out for a meal with the guys that are coming to watch us. And then we're going to smash it on Saturday morning, hopefully. So this vlog is going to span the next few days. I'm just going to video everything. I might put it in all in one video, or I might split it up into two. But I'm just at Liv's place now. She's coming back soon. I just ordered myself some clean as fuck meal prep. This is unbelievable. I'll run you over what we've got in a second. But the focus for the next couple of days, training intensity's come down a lot this week. We've done a 2-week taper for the race, for the running. So we only did 16K last Saturday for our last long run, which felt really, really short. Absolutely crazy to say that, because 16K would be kind of almost like a peaking run for a half marathon, but now it feels like absolutely nothing. I've only done one run this week, which was 8K yesterday, which is a little bit of work at marathon pace. Tomorrow I've got just a 5K easy in the morning, and then that's going to be it. I don't like to do shakeout today before. I've never done that. I might do 2 to 3K on Friday night, but probably not. But yeah, training intensity's come down in the gym. Feels a little bit strange. If you've ever done a big taper for a race, you can relate. I obviously love my training. I pretty much train every single day, 6 days a week, 7 times a week. So to reduce intensity and do less training, it feels very strange, but obviously it's necessary. I've never tapered this well. I've never tapered this seriously, and my legs are feeling very, very fresh. So as I say, as long as I can nail the carb load, nail the fueling in the race, and pace myself well, should be okay. In terms of race strategy, I'm going to start a little bit higher than the target pace, which is 4:15 per kilometer. So I'm probably going to do the first 4 to 5K at around 4:20, and then I'm going to start dropping the pace down. And I want to get down to probably an average of 4:13, 4:12, 4:13 for the first half marathon, which will have me at around a 1:29. And then I'm going to play it fairly safe and conservative, probably up to 32K. And then if I'm feeling fresh, I'm going to drop the hammer and absolutely send it. So that's the plan. But in terms of the food that we've got tonight, obviously, one sec. I eat really, really clean, I would say 90% of the time. So just literally whole foods. And then if I want something like a pizza or a little bit of chocolate, I'll do that. But I'm really going to be focusing on purely just whole foods for the next couple of days, because I don't want any digestive issues on the race, because I'm going to be taking in 3 or 4 caffeine gels on the day. So I need to make sure that the stomach is sitting well. So what we've got for dinner tonight is this meal prep from a really, really nice restaurant in Dubai called Nourish. It's a little bit more expensive than some other places, but I think it's well worth it. So we've got medium to well done steak. Yes, I like my steak like that. I know I'm weird, but I don't care. We've got coconut rice, got some avocado, some sweet potato, and then we've got some rocket as well. So absolutely perfect meal there. Relatively high in fats, but that's fine because I'm actually quite low on fats today. Obviously a high amount of protein. I estimate there's probably around 45 to 50 grams in that, and there's probably around 60 grams of carbs. And then I'm going to have some orange filled medjool dates, which are absolutely unbelievable. I do like dates. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan. It's not something that I crave, but the ones with the orange peel in are absolutely amazing. And these are really, really good to have in your diet if you are trying to hit a high amount of carbs. So whenever I am carb loading for a race or a long run, I will always have some dates. So I will probably have 5 or 6 of these tomorrow and 5 or 6 on Friday. Low volume relative to the amount of carbs in the meal, which is exactly what you want when you are carbing up. And I'm also going to be having around a litre of orange juice tomorrow as well, just to get more carbs in. Obviously would not recommend that year round, but when you're doing whatever you can to hit the right amount of carbs for the carb load, you've just got to get it through liquids sometimes. So I'm going to eat this. This is all I'm going to film for today, and I might film a little bit of tomorrow, and I'll run you through and run you over what I'm eating tomorrow for the carb load. What's up, team? We're just about to go for our final run of the marathon prep. Well, my marathon prep. We've roped in the hybrid bird. Looking tidy.
Impressed.
Looking tidy. So yeah, we're gonna do 5k easy on the beach. What a vibe. Anything to say?
I'm really not looking forward to this.
How many runs have you done so far?
This will be my 6th ever.
She's getting better. But she's in that awkward stage where it feels very uncomfortable. But you've just got to keep doing it, and then you start to enjoy it. And she even bought the same trainers as me.
I actually just bought the kit. Just bought the kit so I don't quit.
All the gear, no idea.
Maybe that's the actual secret.
We'll let you know how it goes. 5k became 6k. Because she's one of them that's like, oh, I suck, I'm so bad. And then when she runs, she doesn't even make it look hard.
Yeah.
All those poor girls running past her thinking she's a pro. So we pushed it to 6 and we did it at a 5:59 pace. So that's your longest and slightly quicker run, yeah?
Yep.
So next week we're doing 10. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, smashed it. Got an almond croissant in, got a cookie in, orange juice. So we're probably sitting on around 180 grams of carbs so far. Just gonna get these down, we've got a lot more to eat. Goodbye. Yes guys, it's Friday morning, 20 past 11. We're less than 24 hours out from the race. Hopefully by this time tomorrow, hopefully I would have finished, and hopefully I should be really, really pleased with my time. But did a big carb load yesterday, 700 grams. So what I'm going to do when I get to the hotel today in Abu Dhabi, I'm going to sit down and run you through what I ate yesterday on my fitness pal, tracked everything. Hit a really, really light upper body pump session in the gym yesterday, just a full upper body one, just to keep things ticking over to make sure I'm pumped up for the race. But the plan today is, I've done a couple of hours work this morning. I've just gone for a walk, done about 5,000 steps there, just to keep moving, because obviously I'm going to be in the car for probably 2.5 hours today. We need to drive to the sports city to pick up my race pack. Then we need to drive to the hotel, and then we're going out for, I think, a Turkish or a Lebanese dinner tonight. Just get plenty of chicken and rice in with the guys that are really nicely coming to watch us. So I've been eating this morning. I've had about a litre of orange juice. I've had a bagel with honey. I've had a malt loaf saurine bar. I'm just about to have an acai bowl. The plan today is to hit 550 to 600 grams of carbs. A good amount of those will be through liquids. As I've explained before, I really struggle to get all these carbs in through whole foods. So it's a good technique to use if you are loading for a race. Definitely wouldn't recommend doing it year round because it's just a lot of sugar, but it's fine for now. So I'm going to eat this acai bowl. I just ordered it from Progetto Acai. Really, really good. If you know, you know. I've got 4 check-ins to do. Then I'm going to go and pick up Liv and we're going to drive through. But yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm pretty nervous, to be honest. I put a lot of pressure on myself with these races, and like, it's almost like kind of doing it for the business as well. Obviously, if I can secure a sub-3, that's going to be very, very good for us. And I imagine we'll probably get quite a few inquiries from it. So I just really want to do well. Put in so much work over the last few months, particularly probably the last 6 or 7 months. My running has been a huge focus, and I absolutely love the training. It's never a struggle for me to do the training sessions genuinely. Like, there's never a day where I'm not motivated to train because I love it. And I think sometimes I forget actually how much work I've actually put into this, like hundreds and thousands of kilometers of work over the last few years of my running, and then hit almost 2,000 kilometers this year, which I think is definitely my highest mileage year so far. So yeah, without sounding cheesy, but sometimes you have to look back and realize how far you've come. I ran a 1:28 half marathon earlier on in the year in February. Average pace was 4:12, and obviously the pace that we're going for tomorrow is really not far off that. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes well on the day that I could actually run faster than that for the marathon. So that's very, very fast progression for someone that's been running for that long. And obviously what I'll do once hopefully we've secured a good time yesterday is I'll make a video about how I've actually done that without massively increasing my mileage. Like, it is a fair bit higher compared to what it was last year, but at the same time I'm not doing 70, 80, 90, 100k a week like a lot of these people do. I think my average for this marathon prep has been about probably less than 55, to be honest. So if I could get a sub-3 off that, I don't think there's many people that have done a sub-3 off less than 60k a week on average. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll check in later on. How's my bid? 10 out of 10. I think we're in Abu Dhabi now. We're just filling up with some Adnoc lube. Nah, joking. We're just getting a car wash, and then we're doing a bit of work because the grind never fucking stops. And then we're going to go and pick up the race pack and then head to the hotel.
We're in Al Sama.
I've got another 300 grams of carbs to hit, which should be easy. I've had about 2 grams of protein today, but it's all good.
I just want you. Oh.
She's great.
I know.
If anyone's ever driven to Abu Dhabi, you'll know that there's some very rude and very ignorant people in the fast lane that come up your arse and flash their lights, even though they're disobeying the speed limit. So it's not ideal, but we're almost there. Liv made a really great sign for the race tomorrow. We'll show you what it says tomorrow. It's very inappropriate to be going to a very conservative emirate.
I know that's the thing. I don't know whether I'm actually going to be able to take it out, but
They won't know what it means. It's fine. It's all good.
it's not rude. It's just
Provocative.
it's provocative. What's
Yes.
that from? Step Brothers.
No, it's a song.
No, it's from.
It's at the start of the song, isn't
yeah,
it?
but the original clip from Step Brothers. No.
I'm not sure. This is very authentic and natural content. See you there. We're in Abu Dhabi now. In the lift.
In our gourmet hotel.
Yeah, it's posh. Well posh. Look at that. She looks alright, doesn't it? Yes, it is Joe's fit. It is. You have to make me talk.
Give the people what they want.
Just doing a little full lower body foam roll. Actually hit a little bit of a 42. Just the finer details that matter. Just been out for a big Turkish dinner, feeling a little bit full. But we're loaded. About 600 grams of carbs today. Ready to rip.
Gorgeous. Oh, it's only just.
Hip flexors are a little bit tight. Should have been doing a bit more of this last week. But it's all good. Yes guys, it's 8 minutes past 4 and we're ready to fucking go. Just been hydrating and preparing the fueling. So we've got Pocari Sweats with carb powder in here. It's about 70 grams of carbs in each of these. I'm pretty much ready to go. Possibly got up a little bit too early, but good to be prepared. Just ordered a coffee to the room to go to the toilet. Got a big mark on my face, but yeah, ready to go. Did a nice stretch out last night, as you will have seen, so I'm feeling a little bit loose. I'm going to meet Simon downstairs in half an hour and we're going to walk over, but yeah, ready to send it. I'll check in. I'll try and vlog on the actual run and give you a little bit of an update at around 32k, when hopefully I'm ready to drop it down and send it.
All right. And here we go. We got a Sub-3 crossing into the finish line. Miss Kara Masefa, Wandy Macking.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's big. Okay, don't get that on the camera. But
2 hours, 35 minutes, and 55 seconds. All the way to the finish. Yes, sir. Mr. Gibson with 2 hours and 57 minutes.
I don't want to be Simon.
2001. Great job. Congratulations,
Sorry?
Will he do
About
Sub-3?
31.
2029.
He was on the pace though, like no problem.
The next arm is nicking off now with a time of 2 hours, 58 minutes. and 0.01 second. Yes, crossing it now.
Maya! Oh my god, I'm cramping! I'm shaking! Come on! Run through it! Woo! Come on, Si. When did you leave it?
About 31k.
Oh, really?
He was on the pace though, he's on the pace.
Stop cramping. Okay.
No, I just went to 31.
31, okay.
It got from there, like it got
All the way to the finish line. And we got Mark Camaro. Come on, everybody, cheer it up. Clap your hands and make some noise for him.
He must have cramped
Yes.
He wasn't that far behind me.
And we got more finishers coming in. Here they come, here they come.
Yes guys, what is happening? I am back. It's been a few days since the marathon, since the last clip in the video. I think the last few clips were me crossing the finish line, celebrating and things like that. But what I'm gonna run you over now is the results from the race. I'm gonna go over my pacing, I'm gonna go over my overall thoughts of it, and I'm gonna let you know the plan for the next goal, which I'm super excited about. So we ran the race on Saturday. It's actually Thursday now. Basically what I've done between the race and now is obviously drove back to Dubai on Saturday, crashed out, actually went for some drinks and just kind of like celebrated with Simon and Liv and some other people. And then Sunday obviously was just a full rest day, barely moved, just lay at Liv's place and watch TV all day, focusing on recovering. Got myself back into the gym on Monday for a little bit of upper body with one of my mates. Legs, it goes without saying, were very, very sore for a few days after, but I was actually surprised at how good I felt after the race. I think in recent years when I push myself really hard in events like that, you kind of get little like niggles and things like that. I think if you have imbalances and little injuries, I think when you push yourself pretty much to 100% in a race, you usually get found out and you usually feel it the few days after, but I actually felt really good. So I did upper body on Monday, and then on what I do on Tuesday, I did a very, well, not a very light leg day. I actually pushed myself quite hard because you'll know obviously if you've done races, the pain that you tend to get tends to be kind of like around the joints rather than like big DOMs in the muscle. So even though I was very kind of sore around the ankles and the knees and things like that, my actual quads and hamstrings were okay. So I did a decent leg day on Tuesday, and the structure of my training this week, I'm usually doing 3 full body training sessions. That's the strength training split that I followed in preparation for the marathon. I'm going to be starting that again next week, but for this week I'm just going to do 2 upper and 2 lower, a little bit lighter, just short sharp sessions, just kind of like bodybuilding, getting a good pump with some easy runs. But then yesterday, Wednesday, I did a 12k easy run. Hamstrings are actually a little bit sore from that leg session on Tuesday, but it felt good to get out there again. The body feels really good considering that I did the marathon. But onto the results. So I think you might have seen it earlier on in the video, but ended up running 2:57:19 marathon. That was the official time on the race course. My Strava actually says for the actual marathon 2:57:10. So I actually wasn't far off getting a 2:56, which is awesome. Average pace for that is 4:12, and to be honest, it literally went probably 9 out of 10 perfectly. It couldn't really have gone any better, to be honest. I think the only thing that could have, well, not necessarily me improving on it, but would have been the cramp. So I'll run you over the paces. So obviously a 4:12 average, and the variance from my splits were, and what that means is kind of like the difference between the slowest and the fastest split. So the first kilometre was a 4:47. I'm not sure whether that's accurate. I think it always takes time for the watch to calibrate at the start of a race. And that was us very much just getting out of the crowd and getting ahead. So I'm not going to count that one. But the biggest variance in the splits for the entire race, so the fastest split that I ran was 4:05, which was actually the 34th kilometre. And then the slowest split apart from that first one was 4:16, the 23rd kilometre. But there was quite a bit of elevation on that one. One sec. Cut me off there. But yeah, the biggest variance was 4:05 to 4:16. So I would call that pretty consistent. And if you look at the paces, I'll try and actually insert a photo. But basically for the first, what would that be? The first 31k, we paced it perfectly and we ran between 4:09 to 4:14. So very, very close there. I ran with Simon for the first 31k and he's very, very good at holding me back. Because obviously in a marathon, like if you've trained properly and you've tapered well and you fueled properly and you're hydrated, it's going to feel great. It's going to feel amazing probably until 30 to 32k. So you naturally want to run faster. Like I definitely could have run the first 30k at probably a 4 to a 4:05. But then obviously you've got to hold back for that last 10 to 12k where you never really know how you're going to feel because you never really go past probably 32 or 34k in training. So you have to leave a little bit for the end. But basically at 31k, I was feeling really good and I started to kind of pull away from Simon a little bit. And then I would say my kind of average between probably 31 and for the rest of it was probably around a 4:08, so a little bit quicker, a couple of maybe 2 to 4 seconds per kilometre faster than the first 31. And I think for me personally, I know some people like to go out hard and hold on and slow down a little bit towards the end, but I've found off the last 2 races that I've done, the half marathon and this one, that I'm definitely better off going out a little bit more conservatively and then trying to push a little bit harder towards the end. But obviously something that you have to take into account as well is we ran this race from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. So it started at 6. It was pretty humid for about the first 40 minutes, so actually sweating quite a lot. Then the humidity dropped, so we had probably about an hour and 10 minutes where it was actually quite cool and a little bit breezy. But then at 8 a.m., well, probably like 7:45, 8 a.m., the sun came up, so you're running in the sun and you started sweating a lot. So I think if the sun hadn't come up, I probably would have been able to push this down to probably 4 minutes per kilometre, but I was sweating by the end. I was taking on loads of water throughout the race as well. I was taking the salt tabs and things like that, and that's potentially something that I'll discuss in future videos for the next marathon that we'll get onto in a second. Is just hydration and salts is super, super important. But obviously we ran this one in the UAE and it got up to 22 to 24 degrees in the last hour, so I was definitely sweating more than I will be in future races in Barcelona in March. So pacing wise, absolutely perfect, to be honest. I think I probably pushed that to a 9.5 out of 10. Potentially could have gone a little bit faster for the first 30k and maybe, improved my time by 30 to 60 seconds. But all I wanted to do was go sub-3 and, fair to say, smash that. Came in almost 3 minutes faster than that. So that gives me a lot of confidence going forward. And we have Barcelona, which is exactly 12 weeks away from this Sunday. It'll be 12 weeks, so starting a 12-week prep properly on Monday, and I'm going to train to try and go sub 250, which I know is a big difference. It's over 7 minutes, but based off the calculations online, asked ChatGPT, it thinks going from running in around 20 degrees in the UAE to Barcelona, which will be around probably 12 to 14 degrees, you should be able to knock 3.5 to 4 minutes off your time anyway, whilst just maintaining the same fitness level. But then obviously if I train hard for 12 weeks and I improve my fitness, I could be in with a shot of going 250, which would be crazy. So I basically need to get 3 to 3.5 minutes fitter in the next 12 weeks, which will be a big task. But again, I'm going to try and document this prep a little bit better. But the changes that I'm going to make is my average mileage for this marathon was probably 50 to 55k a week, which is actually really low for sub-3. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to try and get my mileage up to 65, 70k a week consistently, probably from week 1 and week 2. In order to do that, I'm going to get my runs up to 4 times a week consistently, because for this prep, I probably did 4 runs a week for half of the weeks, maybe 7 out of 16. So there's definitely room to push up the mileage there. I'm actually going to try and consume more carbs and more food, just because I did feel quite weak in the gym, and just increasing the carbs there will obviously aid performance on the runs as well, but also recovery too. I'm going to continue to work on my sleep. I actually think my sleep and overall recovery was quite good for that prep, but we can always look to improve it. I am obviously going to increase carbs and food, but I'm going to be running a little bit more, so I'm hoping that my body weight will maintain around kind of like the 78 to 78.5 kilos. I ran that race at 77.5, so I just basically want to avoid my body weight going above 79 kilos, otherwise it's just going to be harder, obviously. So I'll probably hold between 78 and 79 kilos, and then in the last 4 weeks I might cut calories down a little bit and reduce body weight by a kilo to a kilo and a half, because it all does count in a marathon. But apart from that, I'm going to follow pretty much the same structure, the same plan. The extra run will just be an easy run, so just extra miles there. I'm going to follow the same structure with my strength training, 3 days a week, full body. For the next 8 weeks, well, the first 8 weeks of this 12-week prep, I'm really going to try and build some strength back in the lower body. Not that I really lost much, but I just wasn't pushing myself too hard on that. And these marathon preps, they only really, I think, start to get really hard when you start doing probably over 28k on the weekends for the long runs. So I'm really going to try and build a little bit of strength, maybe a little bit of muscle in my legs over the next few weeks, just to stay injury free as well. That's the main thing, because the stronger your legs are, the more force you can generate, the better you can perform. And then we'll just pull down lower body intensity in the month before the race. But overall, like, could not be happier with that. All I wanted to do was go sub-3. That was all I was telling myself on the race, because I knew that if I just kept the pace up, I knew I was going to come in at a 2:58. I knew if I slowed down, I'd still probably come in sub-3. So all I was telling myself was just don't be a dick, don't go out too fast. And I think I found the balance of pushing a little bit harder at 31k for the rest of it, but not overdoing it to the point where I had to slow down, because I never actually had to slow down. So could not be happier. That's in the bag. But yeah, 250 is going to be crazy. And realistically, even if I don't hit sub 250, I'm going to come in with a PR of 100% under sub 255. But yeah, that's what we're going for next. And I'm going to continue to document the journey. I've been thinking about what I'm going to do after the next one. I don't think I'm going to do another race. I'm not going to do another marathon in 2026, definitely. I'll do Barcelona, and then I'll do a half marathon later on in the year, but I'm just going to keep up running probably 40 to 45k a week throughout the year. I just don't want to lose my fitness. I want to keep it up, and maybe try and set like a sub 1735k or something like that. But big focus on the physique as well, because I don't want to lose that side of things. But if you've got any specific questions about the race or how to approach your own running program, drop me a message on Instagram, joe_is_fit.